Washington. When Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen launched missiles and hit 3 merchant ships in southern Red Sea last weekend, it immediately triggered the question: will U.S. military respond? The Houthis have sharply increased their attacks on ships sailing towards the narrow Bab al-Mandeb Strait. U.S. Navy ships shot down a number of drones believed to have been launched by the militant group from territory it controls in Yemen. But so far the U.S. has refrained from military retaliation. That's a marked difference from multiple attacks on Iran-backed militias in Iraq and Syria, which have fired rockets, missiles and drones at bases housing American forces in both countries. While it was reported that no one was injured in the Houthi incidents, some damage occurred to commercial ships, and U.S. officials claim the Houthis are not technically targeting U.S. ships or forces. It's a subtlety that Navy ship captains monitoring incoming drones might question. Here's a look at the Houthis and their escalating attacks, and why the United States believes it's more acceptable to some Iran-linked targets than others. WHO or the Houthis and what is happening in Yemen. Houthi rebels launched a crushing war in 2014, breaking out of their northern stronghold in Yemen and seizing the capital Sana'a. A Saudi-led coalition intervened in 2015 to try to return Yemen's exiled, internationally recognized government power. Years of bloody inconclusive fighting against the Saudi-led coalition has turned into a stalemate proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Iran, causing widespread hunger misery in Yemen, the Arab world's poorest country. The war has killed more than 150,000 people, including combatants and civilians, and caused tens of thousands more deaths, creating one of the world's worst humanitarian disasters. The ceasefire, which technically ended more than a year ago, is still widely respected. Saudi Arabia and the rebels have exchanged some prisoners, and a Houthi delegation was invited to high-level peace talks in Riyadh in September as part of a broader détente the kingdom reached with Iran. While reporting positive results, there is still no lasting peace. Attacks on ships. The Houthis have occasionally targeted ships in region over time, but attacks have increased since the start of war between Israel and Hamas, killing and injuring scores following an explosion at a Gaza hospital on October 17. Houthi leaders insisted on Israel's goals. One of the merchant ships hit on Sunday, the Unity Explorer, has a tenuous connection to Israel. It is owned by a British company that has Dan David Unger, who lives in Israel, as one of its officers. Sunday's flurry of attacks included missiles hitting Unity Explorer No. 9 and Sophie 2, all bulk carriers. And during that day, Navy destroyer USS Carney shot down 3 drones heading towards the ship and also went to aid of merchant ships. On Wednesday, USS Mason shot down a drone heading toward it, while U.S. has carried